Today on our 2012 Ram 1500, we're going to be installing the Easy Connector magnetic T-connector with 7-way trailer connector, part number 319-R7-06. If you'd like to pick it up as a kit with the trailer end, you can use part number 319-R7-02. To help us out with the install, we're going to be using the tow-ready no-drill mount short bracket, part number 18140. Upgrade the factory 7-way on your Ram to the magnetic Easy Connector. This is going to allow you to maintain the use of your original 4-pole connection and original 7-way connection, while adding the ability to use the Easy Connector. Because it allows you to maintain your factory connections, you can tow trailers with either Easy Connector or standard connections. It's a face-to-face connection, so there are no pins or blades to be broken. It's very simple to install. We'll go ahead and show you that now. To begin our installation, we're going to start with the mounting bracket that came with our Easy Connector. We need to mount it as close to our hitch receiver as we can. As you can see, there's no real good spot to mount it, and I don't want to drill through my bumper. Our short bracket's going to allow us to mount our Easy Connector bracket to our vehicle without drilling. What we need to do is some pre-assembly here. We're going to attach our short bracket to our Easy Connector bracket. We're going to have to drill out some holes. So I'm just going to line it up right where I want it, and then mark out my holes. Once I've got the holes drilled out on my Easy Connector, then I can use the hardware that came with the short bracket to attach the two. So I'll just line up my holes. Now I'll go ahead and tighten them down. Perfect. Now back at the rear of our Ram, you can see with it assembled how it's going to fit. Now we can take the worm clamp that came with our short bracket. I'm going to feed it up through the opening of the short bracket, over my hitch, and back to itself. Once I've got it mostly through, we want to push our bolt down, just as you see it here, so it makes contact with the clamp, and then we can tighten it down. And the size is just a 5/16 socket, or you can use a flat blade screwdriver. With our bracket installed, we can bring in our wiring. Let's go ahead and start by feeding it through. Then we'll attach it with the included hardware. The size is just going to be a 7/16 socket and wrench. Perfect. Back underneath our Ram, we'll need to locate our factory 7-way connector and disconnect it. So you'll need to find the top, push down on the black tab, and pull outward. That's kind of a tight fit, so you can use both hands and just pull out. When making electrical connections, it can be helpful to use some dielectric grease. This is going to prevent rust and corrosion within the connections. And you can pick some up here at Etrailer.com with part number 11755. But for demonstration purposes, we will not be using it. With our factory end disconnected, let's bring in our Easy Connector socket. It's going to be this one right here. And we're going to push them together. Now you want to make sure you listen for a click. And then once you hear that, try to pull it apart again. And if it doesn't come apart, you've done it correctly. Now, we can take the shorter end and feed it into the socket up above. You'll line up the notched ends, and again you want to listen for a click. And then try to pull it off. Now we can just take the excess wiring and tuck it up above our hitch. And I'm going to use a zip tie to keep it in place. Now I've got a trailer here with a magnetic Easy Connector on it. Let's go ahead and test it out. So we'll pull out our dummy plug, we'll line up our notches, and put it in place. Perfect. Now we'll check our trailer lights. Here's our left turn signal, our right turn signal, our running lights, and our brake lights. And that's going to complete our installation of the Easy Connector magnetic T-connector with 7-way, part number 319-R7-06. on our 2012 Ram 1500.
Thanks for watching, and click the link in our description below to shop, learn more, or visit us at Etrailer.com. And leave us a comment if you have any questions.